So the house is pretty quiet once again. I don't know where the other person has gone, but when I was getting something to eat, they were eating chips and they were like, sort of acting like they were like wanting to throw up, and then they walked outside just to avoid me. So I don't think this little spat, of theirs is over yet. They're obviously upset that I didn't want to be served food from a fork they had just eaten from. So, for some reason, they think that's okay. So, and so, I didn't eat whatever I was served, and they ate it. And then ever since, they've been in a bad mood and avoiding me. Yesterday, or the day before, not yesterday I went out early, but it could have been yesterday, whenever they were preparing like their meal at like 4, which may not be unusual. They did mention that they wanted to have an earlier meal so that they would feel less heavy at night, but so, yeah, and today they were like not talking and to me, and they were doing what they were doing. And then when I eventually came out from what I was doing from the room, what I was doing to have something to eat, they sort of avoided me. And now it's like they've gone somewhere. They could have gone shopping, fair enough. Although it's not Friday, so I don't think any stores are open. They used to go to a class, exercise class. But I'm not sure if that's actually where they've gone. But they've taken the car and didn't tell me, so I don't have any idea where they are. So I imagine that they may even have gone out to dinner or whatever. I don't know. But I think I was just going to say, like, I think this confrontation thing, this avoidance, lack of, communication, not wanting to speak to me, not wanting to have dinner near me or anything, it's stemmed from this argument of me not wanting to be served a meal from a fork that's just been eaten from, So it's sort of extending into a bitterness. And so I'm wondering, is this like healthy? Am I supposed to be like getting the gist that they don't want me here and move out? Like, should I sort of acknowledge, maybe they're purposely trying to avoid me because they don't really like me, or they don't want me here and they don't want to see me, and just move, take the initiative to move before I'm even asked or whatever. And so, before they've held it in, and then they blurt it out one day in a violent argument, So, it could be leading to a violent argument of them holding it in until they can crack and then just explode. Or it could be just a new string of things that they've begun to do. Or it could be just, the fact that they feel insulted and they don't want to be near me, or whatever. Or it could be anything. I'm really just guessing. But I would hope it's not, because I have said, several times, don't make an argument if you want me to leave, just ask me to leave and I'll leave, I'm not, you invited me up here, which is the only reason I came up, and if you want me to leave, just leave, otherwise, you keep saying you're happy for me to stay, so I'm staying, because obviously, my prospects aren't any good, I'd only live on my own because have no more support. It's not the most ideal situation when you're not employed 11 out of 12 months in a year. So, But yeah, I mean, I don't bring up the whole table of conversation. I mean, obviously that's the breadth of considerations. But I basically say, oh, if you don't argue with me, just ask me to leave. I don't want to have a violent argument just because you've been hiding that you want me to leave. And then, I just want to be told or asked, or have a conversation and say, hey, I think it's best that you leave, not, I hate you, F you and F this and F that, and I want you to F leave, whatever, so, so, I don't know, hopefully they won't get some friends and sort of gang up on me and try and say, hey, you're no good. Let's do something bad, do something to you to make you better, or something. So, some people are like that. They get support and confront someone and, fairly, it could be like passive or violent action, I don't know, but in some action. My biggest concern is them breaking out in a huge argument, like a huge explosion of temper, and being physically aggressive or verbally aggressive or threatening, to you because they haven't wanted you here. That's my biggest concern, because they have been prone to, wiggle knives and want to be spontaneously violent, even verbally violent and stuff. And it's like, it's not any good. I mean, all they have to do is ask, oh, can you go or leave or move on to whatever, or consider, at least think about moving on, give you a few months time to organize your new rent and stuff. And it's like, I don't want to see a rental again. If I move, I want to purchase something. Otherwise, I waste thousands and thousands of dollars that could easily be going to a house for you, into a rental, and yeah. So I've done that. I've done that rental thing, and I hate it because, you're not getting anything. You're just spending, at least, thousands and thousands of dollars on someone else's house. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, but I don't. A rental could be a prospect if I'm just told suddenly to go. I would have to be in a rental, then regain myself and see what I want to do. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of in the dark. I don't really know what's wrong, and I don't know why being, I want to say OHS safe, or being safe from someone's germs, so insulting. I mean, I don't see why anything like that is a cause for a stiff argument, even like a stiff attitude towards you, because it is gross. I mean, you don't want people to serve you food that has been spat in, and you definitely don't want someone sucking on a spoon or a fork, before, serving your meal with the same fork or spoon. So, I mean, I don't see what's so insulting. It's just common sense that you don't do that, to me. You don't serve with dirty utensils. You have a spare little spoon, maybe a little spoon and dish to taste test things, and then, and whatnot. So, there's just common sense. I don't see why it's an argument or, and a reason to give you a cold shoulder. But they do say, whenever they argue violently or argue, they do say many times they don't like me. And I think, what do they think? They're cool and I'm like a loser or something? So that's really hard to bear, because I don't know, I think it's a very harsh attitude. I mean, I'm sure that their parent doesn't tell them, they just hate them blindly. So it's really sort of hard for me to bear that, and because I don't know why everyone wants to hate me so much. I mean, when you're a person's kid, even though you're an adult, you're still their kid. I don't see why anyone. I mean, I'm fairly polite and I'm fairly considerate and I'm fairly nice, and then in the heat of the moment they say, "Oh, I just really hate you. I can't stand you." Is it because you're poor? Is it because what they don't like your look or whatever? And it's like and they just say overall, I hate everything about you. And then you're just going, that's unfair. It's an unfair attitude, but that's unfair for you. I think I don't know. I don't really know what they're saying. I mean, they're not cool. I mean, everyone. I doubt very much they're ever cool at school. But I mean, they've got friends. They've got more of support from more people in the community. I've got just family, and then that's it. And community is very much wanting to just chuck bucket at me. So maybe I don't know, but I don't know what it is. But I mean, saying that that you do have points in community. I mean, that you go for support whenever I go out. Someone looks at me in a nice or a pervy way. No, not a pervy way, a nice way. No, someone looks at you or pays attention to you. But so it's not like everyone's just waiting to chuck you a chuck bucket or anything. It's just that there's a lot of people who have money who want to treat you very coldly, and and it's like, yeah, you're like going, but then this is your family, supposed to treat you a little bit better, and I don't know what the thing is, but they're the one who's probably going to be losing a friend, someone to talk to. But if they don't want to talk to you anyways, I guess they're not losing much. I mean, they just have to walk out the door and find an old friend and they have a new relationship. So but I would have to walk out the door and find a new friend and a new relationship, the two things, which very difficult to find. But yeah, so basically just trying to say, hope this doesn't lead to a really huge argument where hope they don't get violent and I have to try and call someone either to mediate or to report, hey, someone's acting out and in some sort of domestic dispute or whatever, so as exciting that would be, but that would mean that I'm being threatened, and then that's very distressing. Very distressing. So yeah, so that's what I'm sort of thinking. I'm thinking, I hope this doesn't lead to something, because I don't like all these arguments that come out of the blue. I mean, all they do is open the can of worms that say, hey, I really hate you, I hate everything, and I never liked anything. Well, they don't say I never liked anything. They say I don't like anything about you. I don't like your look. I don't like your personality. I don't like who you are. You have to change. That was the crux of their argument close to when I first came here. I'd been here just moved my stuff up after 2 weeks. No, 1.5 months or something, and they break it out. I don't remember. I mean, it was ages ago, but yeah, but that's sort of the point that they say over and over again in every argument, they really hate me, and I'm like, oh, okay, am I not cool? Am I too black? Am I not blonde? Lo and behold, though, lo and behold, maybe in the center of your mind there is a spark of light, but I don't know. I've been pretty much downgraded by something that I drink that blows my brains right off. So, too bad if they wanted me a blonde. My little window of opportunity has flown off my mind. But I do have one little one, I imagine, but I've never turned into a blonde, so. Anyway, yeah, so I'm getting pretty much a sour stick. So I don't know what I'm doing from here if I have to move suddenly. I mean, I guess I'd try rental. But what I really want is my own place. And I guess I'd have to rent anyways, even if I bought my own place to build or whatever. I don't know. But, I don't know. I don't even know if I'd want to live here or where I used to live or what. Work from home or what? No, I don't know, but I would have to discover that if the subject came up, which it could, very fast. Now that this prudish, silent side, avoiding me side has come out, I would say it's probably going to lead to an argument, but no guarantee that it will, or it won't, I don't know, but, this is why I've been told, do not live with your parents. Do not be supported by them. Live by yourself because they're unstable parents and you're in danger of being hurt or injured. That's what a professional told me. And that was when I couldn't get work. I didn't have any money. I'd used all my savings in a rent. And I didn't have anything to save myself. And I have no idea what I was doing. And I said, I think I might go back to my parents. And they said, no, don't go back to your parents. Your parents are unstable. They're acting out. They're treating you low. They're, being, and they're breaking out in violence because they're unstable. And they said, do not live with them. Live by yourself. And I was like, oh, okay. And then you walk away and go, oh, well, screw that. I have no money. I'll go and live with them again. So, I've sort of been, ignoring professional advice that I received, because of my money issues. I've got total issues with money and employment, and at the time, I'd lost all my, I had no money, so I wasn't going to sit on the street. It's like something better than the street or a homeless shelter is your parents' house. So, so it's pretty low, but it's what happened. So that's why I'm living with my parents still, and yeah. But I hope it doesn't break out in violence because then I might have to consider leaving, and if I have to leave real fast, I might have to just chuck all my belongings in a van and put them in storage, and then stay at a relative's house until, I figure out if I'm going to rent or if I'm going to buy or whatever, move to another state. I don't know. Or I could just branch out to a hotel room and say, hey, this is where I started, so many years ago. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I want to live. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I can do. I don't know what, brings additional whats and what ifs and... Yeah, so it's still my elongated issue, and it doesn't look like I got the job today, so I won't be going on training tomorrow, which was the possibility of the week with employment. So I'm gonna have to look for new jobs tomorrow or something. But yeah, like I said, hopefully won't lead to an argument, but could.